Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome once again. Today we're talking about Benjamin Sesko and Newcastle. Newcastle has given Benjamin Sesko 48 hours to decide if he wants to be a Newcastle player. I think they have given him more than enough time, and it's high time that he makes his choice if he wants to be a Manchester United player or Newcastle player. I mean, Benjamin Sesko can let the whole Easter drama wear out, and let's move on, please. Either he chooses Newcastle and Newcastle sell Alexander Isak to Liverpool, or he says he doesn't want to come to Newcastle, and Newcastle can find a way to settle that dispute with Alexander Isak. Because unless they get it like a superstar striker, I'm not sure they will let Alexander Isak go to Liverpool, no matter what. So if Benjamin Sesko come to Newcastle, then maybe Newcastle will say Isak can go for 150 million to Liverpool because they have to pay. If you really want the guy, you have to pay. Then Wissa is there, and Wissa can also be a backup striker for Benjamin Sesko. So, guys, I want to ask you a question: player power versus club power. Now we know the club has the power because the club is the employer of labor, but player power is massively growing in this modern day football. So, is it a good thing that we have player power? Should it be encouraged? Should it continue? Because the way I look at it, in the next 10 years, the club and the player will be like colleagues. The player will probably be telling the club what to do. So me, I don't really like the idea of player power, but to some extent, it's actually a good thing because it helps in terms of leadership structure in the dressing room and other things. And then again, these clubs sometimes they might bully players, so we need a player that can take a stance and speak out for themselves. So player power is a good thing, but when it's used too much to a certain degree, it becomes a very bad thing. Another thing I want to talk about is verbal agreement. Verbal agreement. A lot of people are coming out in this transfer window to say we have a verbal agreement with them. Then I will tell my side of the story. You will tell your side of the story of the verbal agreement, but we will not have the same side of the story because we have a dispute already. But if we had a document signed, there will be no such thing as verbal agreement, and there will be no such thing as a side to the story. All we know is what is in the paper. So now we have seen the feud of Ademola Lookman and Atalanta. We have seen Victor Gyökeres and Sporting Lisbon based on verbal agreement. We have seen Wissa and Brentford verbal agreement, different disputes. Say you will let us go for a certain amount of money. We say no, we didn't say that. We never said that, and we let you go for this amount of money. It has happened in this same transfer window, and in this same transfer window, we have seen Benjamin Sesko and Abilizi have another verbal agreement. I think a week or two ago, where they said that any club that Benjamin Sesko see as special, they will let him go for around 70 to 80 million euros and 5 to 10 million in add-ons. So that one is going well for them, and there's no dispute yet. And I hope it works out well for them. But my question is, verbal agreement, should it be something that is encouraged in football? Because I don't like it. It's too messy. It's too messy. And I feel like everything that needs to be decided needs to be in written document, or else cases like this will just keep coming up. Now, the latest one was the one we saw yesterday where Ademola Lookman said that Atalanta has blocked him from moving. Okay, he spoke about a lot of things, a very long epistle he wrote, and I reacted to the statement yesterday on my video. Now, today, Atalanta has replied. What did they say? The CEO of Atalanta, I think his name is Perasi, let me check. Perasi, he said, the pact, that's the agreement, the verbal agreement, the pact with Lookman was made a year ago when we rejected 20 million euros from PSG. Okay, that was when it was made. PSG wanted to buy Ademola Lookman for about 20 million euros, and he said no. Now, he says, we told him that we let him leave in 2025 for a super top club and not in Italy. Now, the situation with Inter is different, and as always, it is us deciding. Now, the club has the final say of if they will keep the player or let the player go. Okay, we all know that Inter Milan wants to buy Ademola Lookman. We all know that there's no issue with player terms and club terms. That means they have an agreement that on Inter and Ademola Lookman that I want to become a new player, we want you. So there's no issue with the payment structure. And the issue is with Atalanta. Atalanta does not want Ademola Lookman to go to a rival, and it seems like the money that Inter Milan is trying to buy Ademola Lookman is a very good price. But because they don't want to encourage their opponent, that is why they don't want to sell the player, and I can understand it. So, but I know that there are other things that they have probably done to Ademola Lookman that Ademola Lookman is unhappy with and makes him to speak up in this way. And then again, I can understand Inter Milan side of things. Inter Milan want to buy him for around 50 million, maybe a little bit less, or 50 million euros. Why? Because Ademola Lookman is about 28 years old. If they sign him for 5 years, because all these contracts will be is likely to be 5 years or minimum 4 years, but I think it will be 5 years. In the next 5 years, Ademola Lookman will probably be 33 years old. You can't sell a player of 33 years old. You won't get profit in the next 5 years. So I understand why Inter Milan is willing or is not willing to go higher than 50 million. I think it's a very good price. Now, Atalanta does not want to encourage their rival. It's like the Newcastle and Liverpool thing. If you sell Isak to Liverpool, you are helping your opponent build a better team. Okay, it's like Chelsea and Arsenal, but they are not aware of this. That's why they are doing business all the time. If not, it's not supposed to be like that. So, guys, what do you think about player power and club power? What do you think about Ademola Lookman's fee with Atalanta? What do you also think about verbal agreement? Is this something that should continue in football? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye for now.